Hello! Hello and welcome, one and all, to the first episode of Third Action. This is a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play. Ooh, that's an alarm clock. Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play of, actual play of Rise of the Runelords, a sort of classic Pathfinder adventure path. I've played through this adventure before, and it's a lot of fun, but these guys haven't. So let me introduce you to the players. That button. These are the players.
There we are.
See, down to this direction, we've got Charlotte.
Yeah.
Playing the lovely Asher Ford. Down here, we have Will playing Greshy Ironroot, Greshy Ironroot, and his beloved dog Phelan. And then
best dog.
Off in that corner, we have Adam playing Gunn, Shough, Paladin of Erastil. Whew.
Yes,
and
sir.
This thing is live. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I hope
It's gonna be
you
exciting.
people will have fun. Yes, oh dear indeed.
Thanks.
So, let's go ahead and set the scene a little bit. The day is Sunday, the first day of autumn. Today is the day, the finally the day of the Swallowtail Festival in the small city of Sandpoint. City is a little bit rough. Let's call it a town. Small town of Sandpoint. Our heroes have found themselves through various means stopping in to the town to see what this festival is all about. They've been here for a few days to a few weeks each, taking in the sights, hanging out in the surrounding areas. A few days ago, they found themselves taking on an interesting job to track down a strange beast that had been slaying livestock in the area. That beast turned out to be a young black dragon, which they managed to slay, surprisingly. And were rewarded.
Surprisingly.
Hey,
You did a good job.
We handled it with great skill. I appreciate you going with that.
No one was even
Yeah.
close to dying.
Expects you all to die in the -1 session.
that would have been a rough tutorial. But our heroes survived the tutorial, and in fact, were rewarded for their efforts, and were invited to be guests of honor at the festival. So, today, being the day of the festival, each of you wakes up and goes about your morning routines separately about the town. We shall start with, let's start with Gunn. So, Gunn, you have been staying at the Rusty Dragon Inn, along with your sort of mentor slash master,
Right.
Mother Taketz. She's a former paladin of Erastil herself, or I should say champion, as the new class is called.
Is it now?
Yes, it is now champion. Paladin is merely the lawful good subtype. I believe you are a redeemer,
Oh, cool.
because you are chaotic. Oh, sorry, not chaotic. You're neutral good.
Neutral good.
Neutral
That's
good.
right.
Okay.
Hey,
So, yes. So you are a champion of Erastil, and she was a champion of Erastil. You get along pretty well. She has come to Sandpoint as part of the festivities. In particular, this Swallowtail Festival is to commemorate the building of the new cathedral in town. About 5 years ago, their old cathedral was burned down in some rather unfortunate incident that people don't seem to like to talk about that much. And
It's a long time to go.
yeah,
Without representation in the. I guess it's kind of out of the way. So.
Yeah, I mean, they've had small shrines and things dedicated to the gods in its place, but they've been working on sort of building this new facility out of stone this time instead of wood to be a bit more resilient, hopefully. And construction's been going great. They've finally sort of managed to get the last bricks in place a few days ago. And they invited a few different priests from around to consecrate the various shrines within. It's primarily a temple to Desna, the goddess of travel and travelers. But they also have a small shrine to Erastil, the god of farms and family. And
any others?
yes, there is also, I believe, caught me off guard. I believe there's a small shrine to Sarenrae, as well as Iomade. Sarenrae is the goddess of the sun, and Iomade is the goddess of knowledge.
Pretty much covering all your bases for a small-ish town.
Yeah, it's most of the common sort of good gods. Sorry, I had a cough there. But this is actually the first day that you've seen her in a couple days now. She's been quite busy helping Father Xantus, the sort of head priest in town, do all the finishing touches on the shrine. And you see her today in the common area of the inn. She's seated at a table, just having a warm bowl of soup as you sort of come down the stairs.
Yep.
What does your character look like? Would you illustrate to the audience?
Well, let's see. Gunn is a warrior by trade and history, so he keeps in pretty good shape, although he's, we'll say, on the thick side of buff. He's a big fellow, and tends to carry heavy armor and a sword and shield most places, but is also fairly nimble, and uses a longbow along with those. Anything else you'd like to?
No, that's pretty good. So you're coming down the stairs. You see Mother Tiketz. She hasn't noticed you yet. Do you want to say anything to her? Or do you just?
I'll probably sit there and eat if I haven't eaten yet.
No,
Ask if
it's
I
pretty
can
early.
join her for breakfast.
Oh, yes. Gunn, sorry, I didn't see you there. How have you been? It's been a few days. I've been quite busy.
Yes, you missed the excitement earlier, but I've gotten to relax a little bit, ready to enjoy the festival before we head back to the monastery or on any further adventures.
Yes, it should
Not
be
sure
quite
what
fun. I hear the release of the butterflies is quite beautiful. I've never actually managed to see one for myself. A release, that is. I've seen butterflies before.
I was going to say, they're not exactly rare around here.
No, they're not. The swallowtails are a bit rarer, and I hear they've got quite a lot of blue ones in honor of Desna. I hear they're quite something.
Well, makes sense. Yeah, it should be spectacular.
Well, I think I'm finished here, and she finishes. She sort of pushes the bowl away from her a little bit, takes a sip of water, and stands. I've still got a little bit more to do before the consecration tonight, but hopefully I'll see you there.
Will she be planning to return to the temple that we both
yes
living at after this? Then I was going to ask her to return with some of the money that we earned, bring back to those folks, probably about I think it adds up to about 100 silver that I had left over, or 200 that I had left over, and I was going to send her back with half of that.
Okay, well, you'll see her later today. She doesn't plan to leave immediately, so.
Okay. Well, we'll speak of it then.
Okay, well, I'll see you there. And she saunters off. Sorry, I need to keep clearing my throat. Okay, so we'll call that a scene. Next up, let's do Asher. Asher, you get up early, right? Uh-oh.
Can she not hear?
Is her video frozen?
It looks like her video's frozen.
Video does look frozen.
No. All right, in that case, let's do Greshy while we wait for her
Sure
video
thing.
to unfreeze. First episode troubles. That's okay. Okay, in that case, Greshy. Yes,
Hi.
it is a very long blink. Greshy, you're already sort of up and about around town. You see various shops and vendors all setting up. You see kids running around about the streets. It's not too busy just yet, but the city is, or the town is quite a bit more packed than it was even just a few, like 2 days ago. It seems like many travelers have sort of timed their arrival just in time. And as you pass by the the southern gates, or not southern gates, the southern entryway to town, you see sort of caravans of people arriving. As people are sort of on their way in, Phelan, your dog, sort of nips at your boot a little bit, tugging. And do you want to describe to me what your character looks like?
Oh, sure. So Greshy looks like a dwarf that is clean shaven for some reason. He's got darker tan skin that's been like aged and weathered from being outside for so long. He's wearing a bunch of clothes that look like they've been very well worn. They're kind of scrapped and held together by whatever he can hold them together with, including a belt that may be made of rope. He also has on his back like just a regular backpack that's just stuffed full of stuff. Like that's everything he's ever owned in his life is on his back. He also carries with him a staff that very distinctly looks like it's a fence post, because it is, or was. And then Phelan, his dog, is a kind of a mutt, little pup, who looks a little bit bedraggled, covered in mud a bit, but that's just how dogs are, when you're outside all the time having a good time. And he's kind of surprisingly built for a pup, but almost in a pit bullish sort of way, where it's just a larger build naturally.
Okay, so he's tugging at your at your boot, trying to get your attention.
Hey, what is it?
He turns
on,
and
Phelan?
goes. He scurries over to a box that somebody set up for the festival. It's sort of a big empty crate next to the festival stall.
Oh, all right.
He's sniffing
just
at
go
it.
over and take a look, see what might be attracting his attention.
Okay, give me your perception check.
Hey, it's a roll. Perception. That is 19 total.
Okay. You look around. You don't see anything of note. But Phelan certainly seems to be interested in whatever was in this box or crate.
Oh, it's an empty crate?
Yeah, it's an empty crate.
Okay, so whatever was catching his attention. Curious, are there any vendors nearby who might have owned this crate?
You look around and you don't see anybody standing near the stall at the moment. It looks like it's set up for maybe selling glasswares. There's a few different sort of jars and glasses that are all covered. It's sort of an open stall that's been covered with like a sheet, as the person's not there at the moment. Inside the box, the crate itself seems to be filled a little bit with straw, and there was clearly something inside the crate, but you're not sure what it was. But it looks like it's been sort of opened, and whatever it was is not in there anymore.
Been removed.
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, do you know where it went, Phelan?
Phelan looks around, sniffs at the air, and whines a bit. It's my best dog whine, if that even got picked up on mic.
Well, that's worth taking a look at. But, I don't know, but it's kind of strange, whatever's got your attention here. Do I see anything strange or suspicious nearby that might have caught his attention? Because it could have been food, or he might be, I don't know. Maybe after seeing them goblins before, he might be thinking more goblins or dragon. Dragon would be odd.
You look around, you don't see anything. There's no dragons in the sky, there's no goblins running about. Looks like just people setting up for the day.
Well, it probably was just looking for food, and unfortunately, it seems they've cleared it out already. Well,
Phelan just looks up at you with like big puppy dog eyes.
Oh, we should definitely go get you some food, huh? You want something to eat?
He barks and
All right, let's go. We'll go see what we can find.
Okay.
I'm going to make
off
you
and
dog
search for
noises as much as possible.
food. Great. Excellent. I shall practice this. All right, Asher, now that your camera's back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Welcome back.
It helped if my computer was plugged in at the time.
Oh, is that what
It's unplugged. I was like, what the heck
Whoops.
is that like 1%? But I'm back.
Yeah, minor whoops there. Little whoops.
Sweet. Okay, so Asher, you two are already up and out. The streets are becoming a little bit crowded, so you've sort of wandered out to just to sort of the edge of town, just to get a little bit of space. As sort of morning sets in, and you find yourself walking past the north gate. Let's go ahead and describe your character to me.
My character, he looks like a very raggedy cowboy who was stuck in the woods. He's not very good at showering or shaving or cutting his hair, and he prefers it that way. He's on the taller side, but he's of average weight. Not someone who like lifts weights or is super good at fighting, but someone who clearly like walks around in the woods day in and day out for weeks at a time. And yeah, he wears like a cow hide over him, and most of his clothes are made out of animal skin or very, very dirty cloths and clothes he's just worn all the way through.
Yeah, when was the last time you took a bath?
Was there a bath in the place I was in?
At the Rusty Dragon, yes, they have a bathroom that you can sort of reserve.
How long have I been there?
How long have you been there? At the inn, you've only been there for about a week.
This is a surprisingly in-depth answer to a...
It's an important question.
I've showered about 3 days ago.
Okay. So maybe just before the romp through the dragon cave.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've still got a bit
Like you felt good about that.
of
We
dirt
all got a bit of a shower in there too.
That's true. There was some swimming through dirty water.
Yeah, see, that's
Yes.
bathing.
That is
So-
a path.
And
Okay.
there was the fountain.
Bath.
The fountain.
So we'll call that 2 days ago.
Mm.
Okay. So yeah, you're just walking along. You see various guards. There's only maybe about 20 guards total in the whole town as far as like city watch goes. And you've seen most of them sort of scurrying about carrying supplies for the various vendors. They've been sort of conscripted to do a lot of the sort of setup and tear down work of the festival.
Nice.
And there's just one, there's only one person manning the gate at the moment, the north gate, and it's currently just open as a group of travelers come through. He's just asking who they are, introducing them to the town. And you see as they enter town, there's a small sign that people keep seeming to stop by and look at for a moment, laugh, and continue walking. But the sign is sort of turned away from you.
Oh. What does the sign say? I'm gonna go and look at it. Clearly it's funny.
Okay, you meander over towards the sign. You came in from the south entrance when you first entered, so you didn't get a chance to see this. But it says, it's a wooden sign that says, "Welcome to Sandpoint" in big golden painted letters. And there's a rough square mirror that's just sort of dangling from the sign. And below that it says, "Please stop to see yourself as we see you."
As myself? So they see me as me. That's very nice. I look, I don't see the purpose of this sign as it's just me looking back at me. I don't get why it's funny. That's okay.
So Asher stares at it for a bit, not sure really what to make of it, and then continues going on his way. Okay. So we'll fast forward ahead a bit. Around midday, the festival starts to really sort of pick up. Most of the vendors are at their shops or booths. They've started to set up a lot of different carnival games. Various foods are being given out. Looks like lunch is being provided for free in the market district. They just have sort of food stalls
That's
all
nice.
set up. And you all find yourselves just kind of casually running into each other in the just outside the cathedral.
Ooh,
Ah,
good
excellent.
morning. Is it the morning?
It's noonish.
It's around noonish, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good afternoon. Good
Yeah.
Pleasant time of day. How you
Where
all
have
been?
you all been? Oh, I've been good. The humor of this town isn't very good. There's a strange sign they put out front where they just mock your appearance if you're interested in that.
Eh?
Yeah.
I mean, I look the way I look. What do you want?
You look wonderful. Everyone here looks wonderful.
Thank
Ash
you.
is very nice.
Yes, the two people
Well,
she's talking to don't necessarily look like the cleanest or...
Everyone's
Hey.
wonderful.
I mean, Gunn looks clean.
Everyone.
Gunn is clean.
I'm plenty clean.
How long
Gunn
has it
takes care
been
of
since
himself.
everyone showered here?
What's that?
Have
Yeah,
you guys
I don't think
showered
Greshy has ever
last week?
bathed, ever.
there are cricks and
Hey.
rivers and such. Sometimes
That's
it's a convenience thing, but usually not something I go out of my way to do.
That sounds good. I like this guy.
I mean, if it's raining, it's a nice shower.
That's what I say. No one believes me.
I
Like
don't
you
get
gotta
it.
use soap.
Rain is probably pretty clean on a world like this, but still,
Eh.
No.
There are worse ways to get clean. Rolling around the mud doesn't get you very clean. Though Phelan
Well,
disagrees.
I was going to ask the two of you, since we've run into each other, what you're planning to do after the festival.
After the festival, I was just gonna go back into the woods on adventures. But if you have plans, I'd love to hear.
Sure. I was probably going to bum around here for another month or two if I were making my way on.
Well, we did pretty well as a group fighting that dragon. I thought maybe we could, keep it going for a little bit. See if we can find some more good to do.
I mean, I'm definitely up for that, as long as I'm not, staying in a town for too long.
Would you two?
There's a
Phelan just-
long pause.
Greshy just looks at, stares at both of them, just like,
Considering.
Keep it in mind.
Well, Phelan seems to like you. That's a lot.
I love Phelan.
Phelan runs over to Asher.
Yay! I pet the dog.
Phelan's little nubby tail wags,
Oh! I love
and
it.
then he runs over to Gunn as well.
Aw. He's a good boy.
He likes you.
Won him
well
over.
enough.
Won him over.
You did. So, yeah. Just, as long as it's not going to be a problem for me, which so far it ain't. We've been doing fine work for people, so. Sure. We can go with you.
Great.
Do you have any
I don't have
plans?
No destination in mind yet, but I'm sure we can find something.
Sure thing.
We'll hunt around. So what are your plans for the festival? I heard there's butterflies. And that's what I'm here to see.
There's food for free. I
like
mean-
that.
That's also nice.
Yeah, I was definitely planning to watch the ceremony and see what other, festivities they have around the town tonight.
I'll have some
Bobbing for
fun
apples. Bobbing for apples.
Apples!
Spend a coin, spend a copper, win 2. Bobbing for apples. There's a guy just walking past, holding up 2 apples.
So he just has 2 apples.
It's like he's trying to lead people over to a booth that he set
Oh.
up.
Where there's a barrel. You don't
Pipe
just have
paper with apples.
This
Let's
sounds like
see.
an opportunity for a free bath.
And you see various other.
I want to hear Tricks DM.
That's my plan. Is
Just trying to
to
get me
just
stuck in
bait
my
this
head.
party over and over and over again. Every adventure is just a trap to.
to the bath.
That's like
We're gonna
leading
be river
dogs.
pirates.
Yeah, there's lots of different just games set up. There's various food stalls set up. The speeches, you hear some people talking, and they say that the mayor is getting ready to do a speech in a little bit. But it seems like you have time to maybe try a game or grab some food first. None of you have
Let's
eaten
go.
since breakfast.
Let's do both then.
Let's do both. Yeah, let's wander around and get some food.
You want to do food before games? I don't know what kind of games they are. They're good on the stomach or
Look
not.
at the games.
Better on a full stomach, most likely.
All right. Let's see what kind of food they got.
Okay, so you wander around to the sort of market street where they've got all the food stalls set up. There's lots of different varieties of food. Travelers from all over have brought sort of local delicacies of their own kind. You see some dwarves set up, a few wood elves as well. but mostly it's just Varisian fare. Varisians being sort of the native humans to the area. Sorry. There's candied apples. There's sort of the like sort of sweeter treaty fare. There's someone selling what appear to be popped kernels of corn, which is very strange and unique to you. There's people selling whole hams, big massive turkey legs. There's fresh watermelons for sale. Not for sale, sorry, for feeding. There's one booth that's just a lot of various vegetables plucked right from the harvest, since it's sort of a harvest festival of sorts.
Nice. Definitely make my way to the fruit stand. Get myself some watermelon. That sounds quite nice. Would you like to split one?
Turkey leg for me.
I want a turkey leg too. And I want popcorn, because that looks weird.
You go for it.
Heck
Okay.
yeah.
So Greshy makes his way over to the watermelon stand, and there's the shopkeeper vendor. He is an old sort of grumpy man with sort of gnarled black beard, sort of wearing all dark leathers. Has like a big wide sort of farmer's hat. You want one watermelon or two? Does the dog eat them?
Yeah, you'll eat it.
All right.
I'll take two.
One big
Kinda
one,
wanna
one
watch
small one.
that.
And he turns, he calls that out to his daughter, who's standing nearby. And she has certainly some massive watermelons as well. But she picks up one large one and a smaller one, and places them on the table and kind of leans over suggestively. How come I haven't seen you around here before?
Because I don't live around here much.
Well, if you ever need some supplies, why don't you stop by my father's shop?
Sure, what was his name?
Vendor.
Ben Vendor. Convenient name for a vendor.
And her dad at this point is sort of in the back, moving around some produce. So he's not paying attention to this conversation.
We have Rasputin and his hot daughter.
Yeah, she's got sort of like long flowing red hair. She's wearing sort of like a white, almost like nightgown that's like a little too loose.
Sounds legit.
You may want to button that a bit. They might fall out.
She looks down. Oh, I'm sorry, and she buttons it up a bit further. She just does one extra button. Well, you look big and strong. If you ever want to stop by, I think we've got some trouble with rats in our basement. I could deal with the rats and then maybe share some wine.
Can I get an insight check? Is this a euphemism for something?
Let's see. What is that in the system? I believe it's perception.
I don't know.
Perception.
I was gonna say I don't think there's an insight check. It's a 20.
Yes. She's trying to coerce you. There may not be any rats in this basement.
But there might be.
Well, I've got a few friends of mine that might be interested in dealing with rat problems. I'll go double check with them, see if that's something they're interested in. That said, wouldn't hurt to at least do a bit of shopping at your place, assuming we need supplies later. It's kind of hard to read Greshy right now. He just seems kind of uninterested.
Sure. Seeing that you're not falling for it, she just kind of smiles, a sort of fake smile, and disinterestedly turns around and goes back to handling watermelons.
In public? Oh my.
Real watermelons. Okay.
All right, well, I'll take my watermelons then.
They're pretty big, juicy watermelons.
They're lopsided.
You can't say that after you made that euphemism earlier. Like,
You're right.
I
it's
very
wrong
well
for me
can.
now.
I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna keep doing it. All right. So, Asher and Gunn, you make your way over to the turkey leg stand, not noticing
Yay.
whatever is going on with Greshy over there.
Is that scene gonna repeat, but with a turkey leg euphemism somehow?
I'll try my best.
That would be in his pants this time.
Turkey leg.
Here you see sort of a very dour-looking man, who is just he's got somebody helping him, another man in sort of not quite peasants' rags, but sort of commoners' clothing, who's handing him plates of freshly carved turkeys and just handing them out to people. Hey, sorry, I don't think I've seen you guys here before.
Visiting the town for the festival.
Oh,
And to kill dragon.
that's cool. That's cool. You guys want a leg? And he points at the
Yes.
turkey legs. All right.
I
Here's...
want 2.
Oh, 2. Sure.
2.
But two's the limit. It says right here, and he points at a crudely written sign that says "2's the limit."
2 at once? Could I come back
Literally
for 2
says
more
2's the
later?
limit.
Or 2 forever?
Sorry, man. 2's the limit.
That's okay. I'll take 2.
Okay,
I'll
you take
take 2
2
as well.
Dual fist, and you also dual wield. These are expert quality turkeys with +1 to damage. But the
Okay.
nice hefty turkeys.
Joust. We should joust with them.
Do you want to? Haha! Let's
Duel.
slap each other.
Duel.
With blade.
A parry, and then
That's why I have 2. I can't use one. I stab you.
Do you guys
I
mock
don't-
a
I want
joust?
to eat these-
yeah.
Oh, yes, we joust.
Right there in front of their stall.
Okay, if you guys want, you can give me a performance check to mock joust.
Ooh.
while also eating,
Oh, I can eat this. Did you get 2?
striking.
Yeah, both
Yes,
got
I
2.
did.
All right, yeah, we can eat. Well,
Where's perform on here? It's on the,
oh, there it is.
That's
So
under
charisma.
charisma.
there it
Towards the
is.
bottom.
I got a 13. I got a 14.
At a 16.
Okay. So the 2 of you sort of put on a decent show of mock jousting and sword fighting with your spare turkey leg while you eat the other. And a
I'm
group
like
of
alternating.
yeah, and a group of people sort of crowd around and start applauding once you're done. And they throw a few copper your way, and sort of scattered on the ground are 15 copper after your performance.
Nice.
I'll.
Take. It's a hard number to have.
I was
I'll
gonna.
take
Someone
7.
comes by and flips a 1 extra copper to make it even.
Oh, thank
I'll give you a
goodness.
look that means we don't really need to be keeping this, do we?
I want to wait till you leave, and then I'm gonna pick them up.
You can have it yourself, or we can like drop it in a tip jar somewhere. I don't mind. It's a couple coppers.
I'll scoop them up.
Okay,
The
you scoop
16.
the coppers off the cobblestones.
That are Martin. We don't leave them behind.
Wait, now I have to write this down.
Okay, so you scoop up the 16 copper and sort of stuff them into your coin purse to deal with later.
In the dirt, just and my
but-
turkey leg.
both of your turkey legs are now completely finished. You now have just the +1 turkey leg bones instead.
Oh. How big are the bones?
I mean, pretty big, like maybe a foot, a little bit less than a foot.
I want to put those in my satchel.
I'll deposit mine carefully in a designated container.
Okay, just write down that you've got two bones. So, Gunn, as you're looking around for a place to drop these bones off, you don't really see anything. People are just kind of dropping things on the floor, it looks like.
That's fine.
But give me a perception check.
Whatever's the local custom is really going to be fine. That's a solid 19.
Okay.
Whatever that trash can is, I'm definitely gonna spot it.
So yeah, you're looking around for some kind of trash receptacle, and you don't see any, but you do see a half-orc, rather large, burly sort of dude. Maybe it looks a little bit on the slower side. Is just kind of meandering through the crowd. He's got a big waste basket strapped to his back, and he's just bending down and scooping up trash and tossing it in. Scoop up trash, toss it in. And he's got
Alright.
he's got a little wooden sort of scooper that he uses as well to pick up the things that he doesn't want to touch.
Sounds good. I think I'll get his attention and drop those in there myself.
Okay.
Then
So you wave him down, and he, Oi, what you want?
just throw this in your bag there.
Oh. He nods and bends down a bit so you can toss it in.
All right, I'll toss it in. Shall I make another perform check?
No. Not unless you're trying to do some kind of like cool flick.
Okay.
Turn around over the shoulder, sort of.
Skyhook. No, I'm good.
All right, you lightly toss it in. He grunts and goes back to picking up after other people.
Should have dunked it.
And then hang on the rim.
You just tear the basket right off his back. So mean.
Okay, you guys. So you turn back and see Greshy and Phelan. Greshy's sort of sitting on a bench, just eating this watermelon, while Phelan is also just kind of digging into.
Oh, he's a mess. He's got just red juices all over his face.
Yeah,
also,
looks
Phelan
kind of
looks a mess
violent.
too. They're both pretty messy at this point because they just went both of them full face into the watermelon to eat it.
Yeah, it's definitely father and son vibes you're getting here.
Mm-hmm. Pets looking like their owners. That was good.
Jason, where's the popcorn?
Oh, popcorn! Hi, I forgot you said you wanted popcorn.
Don't forget that.
Popcorn.
Asher remembers that he was going to get popcorn.
She's kind of interested in this popcorn stuff as well.
Yes, let's get popcorn.
Okay,
I've never heard of it.
You make your way over to the popcorn stand, and you see a rather done-up looking man in sort of fanciful, like, white suit with various colorful flowers and feathers sort of tucked into his cap. Behold the magic of popcorn! He says as he hands a new bag to a small child who cheers, yay! And goes running off with his little bag. And you're next in line. Ah, good evening, friends. What can I do for you? Would you like to try some delicious popped corn?
Yes, I would. I would like to experience the magic of popcorn.
Behold! And he takes a... he's got this sort of pile of corn... what do you call them? Corn cobs, I guess? Takes a corn cob, holds it over a small bag, and then holds out his hand. And you watch as flames begin to sort of erupt from his hand. Behold, once heat is applied to the corn... Oh, just wait for it. And then you suddenly hear pop, 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 as the kernels just sort of start to explode and fall down into the sort of receptacle. Here! This one is yours, and this one is yours. And he hands another one to Greshy.
Yeah,
Well, that one are interesting.
so excited.
Yeah,
Who would
that's
ever
the-
think to do that to corn?
I mean, I've roasted corn before, but that must be a lot hotter than most corn to make it do whatever this is.
And you
Yeah,
see,
we've had
as you sort of take your bags of popcorn, like a crowd starts to rush in to get their own bags as well.
Oh, getting out of the way of that.
Magic.
It's magic.
Popcorn's good.
Yeah, it's a little bland, but
Yeah, you feel like
Well,
it could
I'm
use
impressed. Alright.
something. Like he hasn't.
I mean, it's literally popcorn.
Like salted it or anything. Like, no
Yeah,
shit.
there's no salt or butter like you're accustomed to in the modern era. It's literally just popcorn with
Yeah,
nothing else.
Which, I mean, it's fine. It's just
fluffy.
a little bit bland, but
What?
it's very light.
Well, I'm impressed. This is a mighty fine festival.
It's nice it's all free too. Ain't gonna complain about
Yeah.
that.
I actually made money eating food.
And how'd you manage that?
I fought with my turkey leg, with Gunn's turkey leg, and people liked that. And they gave us
Oh,
money.
were you the cause of that commotion over yonder? All right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
And then we ate the legs.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It was
I need
a
to
good
make
time.
sure. Actually, I should make sure I get Phelan some actual meat at some point here. It's good for him.
Oh, would he
Balanced
like
diet.
one of the turkey leg bones that I have?
I bet you would.
Phelan gets up and looks at you with wide open eyes.
I give him one of the bones that I have.
One
Okay,
plus one turkey
as you're
legs.
lowering it, Phelan like jumps up to try and
Ooh.
grab it, and you kind of pull it back a bit, and he jumps again. But then you sort of
Aw.
lower it down, and he goes for it. He grabs it and then runs off.
Yeah,
Hey, don't go too far, Phelan.
I have one less leg.
You hear the little footsteps running.
Oh gosh. I'll be back. Greshy goes after him. He's gonna bury that bone, I swear.
Oh no, my gift.
You find him a few moments later. He's sort of hiding underneath a bench, just gnawing at the bone.
Okay. Well, as
He's
long as
got
we know
a
where
he's
he
got a
is.
pretty strong jaw on him, so he's already managed to split the bone in half.
Oh well. You must be careful with that then. People at home, cooked turkey or chicken legs are not good for your pets. Do not
No,
do
they're
this.
not.
But this
Yes.
is
Do not give
fantasy,
your
so
pets
it's
that.
fine.
Don't give them any bone they could break.
He's
Yes.
likely to die to a random goblin attack anyway, so. Or
Phelan will live forever.
spiders or
I'm shocked that you would say such a thing.
Phelan will come back. Phelan always comes back. It's fine.
Well, we have that potion. If he choked, we could just give him a potion.
you do have one scroll of new life.
Oh, the scroll.
We do. Yeah, we've got the scroll. The scroll is just
Yeah.
for Phelan.
If he chokes,
Got his name on it.
oops.
For Phelan.
It's your one
There we go.
freebie.
Yes.
Okay, you collect Phelan after he's sort of done eating and regroup with the others. And around now, it seems like people are sort of starting to gather around the cathedral for the speeches.
All right. Shall we gather?
Yep, let's go see what the mayor.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Hmm,
That was weird.
that was weird.
I'm back.
All right, cool.
Sorry, it disconnected me for some reason. Anyway,
All
did
of us
not
have-
press the fancy update button in the corner. Unlike some
Yes.
people I know.
Sorry, I do that all the time. Okay, so you guys are gonna go check out the speeches?
Aye.
Okay, you make your way over to the entrance of the cathedral. And you see there's like sort of quite the crowd of people gathered around. There's a small wooden platform, sort of just a makeshift kind of thing that people just threw together probably in the last couple of days, with a short set of stairs leading up to it. At the platform and the podium is standing. Let's see. Three people, two of which you already know. The first is Mayor Kendra Deverin.
Lovely.
She looks quite tired. So, woman with short brown hair or brownish red hair, plain green clothing. For a mayor, she doesn't seem too ostentatious. She mostly just seems quite busy. Second, beside her, is Father Xantus, a high priest of Desna, or the high priest of Desna in this town. He's got sort of short-cropped black hair with a sort of short beard and a pretty bushy mustache. He's decked out in sort of blue robes, signifiers of Desna, or reminiscent of Desna's sort of blue butterfly motif. And beside the two of them is another sort of rather fancy-looking man. This one is dressed in poofy purple robes, and has sort of like fanciful ribbons and bells sort of dangling all over him. He also has multiple sets of necklaces and jewels around his neck. He looks pretty gaudy, and you can see too that he's got what appears to be quite a heavy amount of makeup on, like pretty heavy eyeshadow, heavy I don't know makeup terms, so I shouldn't go that direction.
Are you describing
Some lovely blush and foundation.
Are you describing a clown that's trying to look like a lord, or a lord that has poor taste?
Let's go more
Both?
like drag queen.
Okay.
So like pretty over the top looking, but not quite at like clown level.
Okay.
If that
And we
makes
don't know
sense.
who this person is or what their role is. Can we guess?
If you have society, you can roll society. I believe that's under intelligence.
I do not. No, wait, that's failing.
Nope. No idea, really.
Well,
I don't think I would
I
have an
know.
idea, really.
Greshy
I
would
don't.
know.
I have just as much an idea as you with this.
That's a 7 and another 7. Okay. Yeah, the two of you have no idea who this guy is.
No, it's fancy clown person. Got it. With bells and
Clown.
whistles. I'm assuming they have whistles as well as bells.
No whistles, just bells.
Okay. Strike through on the whistles.
It
Got
was the bells that said clown to me, I think, yes.
Sorry. just a
They
couple
just
of
want to
bells.
be-
It's a small
It's
number of
important
bells.
to be noticed.
Okay.
It's a
Sometimes
small
it's good to be
number of
ostentatious.
very small bells. Maybe
Okay, I see.
like tiny bells. So they're sort of up on the platform, waiting apparently for sort of the crowd to coalesce a bit. And then the mayor starts to clear her throat. Ahem. Excuse me, everyone. Excuse me. Everyone? And the crowd starts to quiet down a bit. We just wanted to do a few short words to sort of commemorate the festival. I don't have much prepared, so we hopefully won't take up too much of your time. Yes? You look like you have
How
a
many
question.
people in the crowd?
There's about, like, roughly 70, 80 people in the crowd.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot of space in this,
Right.
yeah. And it's
square.
not a terribly big town, and a lot of people are still
small
at the
stage.
stalls and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So
Greshy rolls his eyes and crosses his arms at the mention of them doing speeches.
Well, I wanted to start just by saying thank you to everyone who's managed to come. I know it's a long journey for many of you, but all the same, thanks for coming. Even Lars Ravansky has managed to come out. And you see everybody, a lot of people in the crowd start to laugh at this. Except one person who seems quite grumpy.
That must be Lars.
No, it's Greshy.
Two people.
Okay, two people.
It's like, Greshy, are you Lars?
So, I just wanted to say, have fun, enjoy yourselves. Hopefully you'll stick around for the Swallowtail release later. I hope you enjoyed the food that we've already got out. Maybe play some games. And yeah, have fun. And now I'll sort of I'll give it away to Sheriff Baylor, Baylor Hemlock, everyone. And the crowd sort of politely claps. And a very dour-looking gentleman who you've already met. He's in sort of full chainmail, with a red cloak over his shoulders. Greetings, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful, safe festival. I just wanted to remind everyone that to keep standard fire safety practices in mind at tonight's bonfire. I know that it can be fun to be close to the fire, but please don't touch it. Please keep your children at a safe distance. Do not step past the marked line in the dirt. We wouldn't want another tragedy to happen.
Oh, another
Like last year.
tragedy.
This has happened before.
And
How big is this
sorry, yeah.
bonfire? How big is this bonfire? Well, fair enough, because like a real big one, you can't get within like 15, 20 feet of it, so maybe it's that kind of thing.
You don't see a bonfire around, but you did overhear earlier that there's going to be a bonfire at the beach later at night. So
Okay.
that's probably, they're going to
Fair.
probably set up something in the sand over there.
And like, you wouldn't think that farmers need to be told fire is hot, but
I doubt it was farmers. It was probably tourists or children, dumb people, which includes tourists and children.
So he continues. See, he goes on a bit about fire safety and various things that you should do to keep yourself safe, and what you should do if somebody gets hurt, and if the fire starts to spread, and all these sorts of things. He goes on for like 10 minutes about this. But I don't want to end things on a sad note, so, or a boring note, rather. But I wanted to have a brief moment of silence for those that lost their lives in the fire 5 years ago. We'll begin that now. And he sort of bows his head. The crowd goes silent. Some people look kind of annoyed that he's doing this. Some people have their heads bowed in reverence. Up on stage, the Father Xantos has his head bowed. The the purple clownish man is just kind of tapping his foot a bit and rolling his eyes. The mayor seems just sort of silent. Her eyes closed. She's definitely thinking about something. Oh, anyway, I hope you all enjoy the festivities. And he, back to you, Mayor. And I'll get back to my duties. A couple of people in the crowd clap. People in the clouds also clap as well.
Clap for the moment of silence.
So we can tell who knows about the fire 5 years ago, whatever that was. If we
How many
wanted to
people
ask.
died in the fire?
Apparently, more than enough
Like
enough
half
to
the
justify
town?
this.
the whole cathedral burned down.
Yeah, it was kind of a thing.
Oh,
Might be why they hold the
That's why they have
bonfire
a
on the
new
beach now.
cathedral Yeah,
Burned
before that they
down.
just lit the church on fire every year. And put it out.
we thought that would be.
That's
a
a
good idea,
little
but-
unfortunate, yeah.
The festival started out actually as a riot that happened, and then they just kept rioting every year on the same date.
I feel like
Uh,
I've heard that before, but
So he steps down the platform and he walks off to sort of go about his own duties around the festival. The mayor steps up. Next up was supposed to be Mr. Kaijitsu, but sounds like he's taken to sudden illness, so we've instead invited Mr. Serdek Drakas from the theater to speak to you all. And there's a round of applause, a bit more excited as she steps aside and lets him pirouette his way into center stage. Hello and good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a fun time. And he sort of raises his hands, and the crowd cheers a little bit. A couple of people in the crowd cheer. That sheriff's a work of art, isn't he? And a couple people laugh. Well, I won't keep you long. I just wanted to say that after the horrible unpleasantness that happened 5 years ago, we've managed to pick ourselves up and rebuild. Sandpoint's looking as fine as it ever was, and there's nothing a string of murders or a deadly fire that claimed the lives of quite a few people in town would ever do to stop us.
Murder? A string.
This is the first time you've heard of the string of murders, yes.
A string of murder.
But that's all behind us now.
Going for a minute.
The past is the past, and the present is the present. Now we live and thrive in beauteous harmony with nature and... Anyway, I just wanted to let you all know that this evening, following the festivities, we're going to be showing a production of The Harpy's Curse at the theater. It's free for all travelers who are new to town and half off for locals. I hope you all step by, and the mayor sort of pulls him aside. Anyway, that will be it. Oh, sorry, Father Xantus, you haven't spoken yet. Father Xantus steps up to the platform. Yes. I just wanted to let you all know that once sundown sets, that is when we shall release the Swallowtails and finally complete the consecration of the temple. It shall be right here in this very plaza, so please stop by if you're interested. But otherwise, have fun with the festival, and good luck to all of you who are playing any games. And he gives a slight bow and steps away. The crowd applauses slightly and start to go their separate ways. You're not impressed.
No, the string of murder. That's all I was just thinking about. I was like, what?
Murder most foul.
He said, "There's nothing a string of murders, blank, pause," and I was like, going, "Won't solve? What?"
Did they catch the murder?
You could ask people.
Suppose we could.
Yeah, we probably should.
Did want to also double check. The mayor said that Mr. Kaijutsu was ill.
Yes.
Isn't that the innkeeper's, I'm guessing, husband?
You're not sure. It's definitely the same name as the innkeeper. Same last name as the innkeeper.
Yeah. So maybe father or something. Just seemed a strange coincidence. Fortunate that he's ill. Anyway, we can go check on these murders if you really want to. Not heard
I
of
just
them.
want to know what happened. I need to know.
Also,
Are we in a
Murders
murder
and-
town?
I hope not, but
That's
did they
weird.
sound recent?
Well,
No,
he
but
said
I-
they were
5
5
years
years ago.
Right, so I don't think it's a murder town if it's not something that's
every
been still going
string
on.
of murders is recent if they haven't caught the person murdering. So I need to know.
That's fair. Could be they're still in town. Depends on how local they are.
that's
Yeah.
towns for you.
That's towns for you. You're not wrong.
No.
They
Alright.
have a way of culling their own. Anyway,
Okay.
Was
so-
anyone next to me? Was there like a stranger that seemed like a local that was next to me during the speech?
Yeah, there are a couple of what appear to be locals, just sort of milling about. Some of them are starting to walk away towards the food and festival games.
I'm gonna just follow them and blatantly ask. 'Cause I'm awkward. I'm just gonna blatantly ask. What string of murders?
Ah,
What are they
sorry, I
talking about?
didn't see you.
Oh,
String of the. Are you talking about Chopper? This is a
Me.
sort of woman, maybe in her 40s, with her child, sort of walking beside her.
oh. Am I talking about Chopper? Is that the name of the murderer?
Yes, they called him Chopper for the. Cover your ears, dear. The brutal way that he killed his victims.
Did he chop?
sure
he,
sounds like it.
He removed their limbs and tongues and eyes. It was very gross. I think he killed about 30 people. It was quite the horrible situation. It was not that long ago, about 5 years ago.
Did they catch him?
Oh, yes, they caught him.
Oh.
The sheriff was actually the one to catch him in the end, though I guess it sounded like he took his own life.
It sounded like?
Yes, the killer turned out to be a local sort of artisan. He had been quite popular with the locals for his carvings of birds, and she points at a wooden building, and you can see on the side there's what looks like there was maybe some kind of wood carving engraved into one of the sort of corner pillars of the building, but it's been sort of like marked out with a chisel. He was quite popular for his his bird carvings. People came from far and wide to get one. And eventually he decided to just stay here, and he moved into the island just to the north. He was
The whole island.
there was a small island, just sort of. It's not really an island. It's kind of connected by like a very thin strip of sandy beach.
Just big enough for one house.
Yeah, basically. She explains that the town built him the house on the island, and then built some sort of small bridge for him to sort of easily get back and forth. His name was Stute. It was quite popular to sport a Stute, as it were. If you got one of his unique original Stutes on your building or ship, it was quite the sign of specialness, like something. He always did them for free, but never any that he didn't want to do. It was quite hard to get it anyway. That's besides the point. At some point, he moved out to Stutz Rock, the island over there, and she points off towards the island, and lived there for some time. We started to see him less and less, and then there was that year of just a string of murders, and the sheriff at the time, Sheriff Avertine, he had been investigating the murders himself and apparently caught the criminal red-handed in an alley, but in dealing a powerful blow to Chopper, he himself was mortally wounded. Sheriff Hemlock ended up finding his corpse, and they followed the trail of blood back to Stut's home, where they found him there already dead, in some sort of I think they called it like a shrine or something to some kind of demon. It's horrible stuff, really. But that's all behind us now.
Tell me nobody lives there now.
Oh no, they've destroyed his house, buried it, scattered his ashes to the sea. They've had quite the number of clerics come by and consecrate the place to make sure his unholy revenant won't return. They even managed to take out the stairs to the place, so the small bridge that was built. We don't go to Chopper's Isle anymore.
It's probably for the best.
Sounds like the poor guy got possessed by something more than turned to the bad, to the evil.
I don't know. It's possible he was always like that. We just didn't see it. But anyway, sorry, you can take your hands off your ears now. We're off to try that popcorn stuff. I heard it was quite good.
Oh, it's excellent. You should try it.
All right, come on, Johnny, let's go get you some popcorn. And she wanders off with her little Johnny or Jimmy or whatever I just said in tow.
Jerry. His name's Jerry.
Jerry, Jimifer.
Jerry!
Jimifer.
Well, that's good that at least the serial killer is not around anymore. That was my worry, and now I'm less worried.
So you give a sigh of relief as people continue to sort of mill about, and as you decide what to do next, let's go ahead and take our first break.
Okay.
So
Cool.
We shall be right back after a few short minutes.
After
Good
these
idea.
messages, we'll be right back.
I don't. I hope it's not copyrighted.
I don't think we can.
All right. Bye, everybody. BRB. There we go. I hope we're live. Are we back? We're back. We're back. Nice. Okay. So, you guys have just witnessed the sort of introductory speeches, or sort of, I guess, midday speeches. You've talked to a mother about the murders 5 years ago. What would you like to do now? You've got maybe a couple hours until nightfall, at which point they're going to do the Swallowtail release.
You said there was festival games to be played,
Yes.
Yeah.
so we'll probably hit those up.
Yep.
Let's check this out. Should be good.
And I've been getting to the festival move here. I've got myself a donut from the kitchen.
There you
Yeah.
go. Should have got myself some
Nice.
popcorn.
Oh, rip. Next time.
Fabled popcorn.
The famous popcorn.
Okay.
Find some
let's-
game.
Let's see. So,
Yeah.
you make your way over to where all the games are set up. There's just booths and booths and stalls of various different carnival games. Some a little bit stranger, some a little bit more standard. You see someone who's got a Bobbing for Apples booth set up. It's in fact the same dude from earlier, as well as a sort of homely-looking woman who's sort of assisting him with the booth. Honestly, he doesn't look too great either. Next to them is a sort of a big open pen filled with mud and 2 pigs, and the sign on it says pig wrestling.
Oh.
Past that,
There we go.
past that, there seems to be set up a foot race, as well as, let's see, what else they have. Sorry, just a sec. They have the haystack hunt as well, where they seem to have hiding a small item within the haystack, and if you manage to find it, you get a prize. Or sorry, they have a couple of different small things hidden in the haystack, and based on which one you pull out, you get a slightly better prize. They also have a whittling competition. That one's going to take a while. And an eating competition to see who can eat the most pies. And they all seem to be various different kinds of pies, baked by the local cake shop.
I guess it's not too soon for the whittling competition after the grisly murders by the by the wood carver.
It's been 5 years. They'll get over it. It's only 30 people who died.
It's the
Out of the
first
town
wood
of-
carving.
Out
Out
of
of
the
town
town
of maybe 500. Only 30 people. It's fine.
It's
It's not even 10th.
situation. We should
mean,
have asked if the altar was made of wood. He carved the altar.
He carved the altar.
If it was made of metal, I'd be like, ooh.
There's just like
Maybe that's
it's like a demonic summoning circle with a bird in the center.
Just a little
Just like a bird. No, just like a bird carving. Yeah.
it. Just looks like the Twitter bird, and that is the source of all of the world's woes right now.
That's
Finally,
very
the
true.
perfect bird.
Indirectly.
I'm interested in this carving competition. I know it's going to take a while, but out of the other options, that seemed the most interesting.
Okay.
Going Phelan, he'll probably just nap.
Yeah, Phelan will sort of follow you over to the booth, and you see a couple people already sort of set up. One is a very slender, elderly-looking woman who's rather fashionable, I guess. She's got sort of short-cut hair with sort of big red jeweled earrings. She's wearing this kind of nice sort of noble's red outfit, like a long red body dress, and has sort of poofy white cuffs. And she's at the station with a piece of wood and a knife, and she looks ready to go. Beside her is a young boy, maybe no older than 10. He looks like he's just sort of brand new to this, but you look at... give me a perception check.
Sure thing. I would if I could find it. There it is. It's a 22 total.
Okay, yeah, you're looking him over, and you can see... at first glance, it just seems like a random kid. But you look at his hands, and you see they're weathered. And he's got all sorts of like small nicks and scars from... you'd imagine would be years of wood carving, but he can't have been doing it
Gotta
for too
check
long.
the hands.
He's a kid, though.
He is a kid. And beside that, beside him is a man of maybe his early 30s.
Are you sure he's a kid and not a dwarf with no beard?
They stole it from me. How dare they? Well, it might be a halfling. Was my original thought, but If he actually appears to be a child.
Oh, no, it appears to be a child.
Okay, just a child with weirdly weathered hands.
Yep. And beside them is a half-elven man with kind of maybe skin on the paler side, but his hair tied up and back into a tight ponytail. He looks like he's done quite a bit of... he's wearing kind of a lumberjack sort of uniform or outfit, like the sort of flannel shirt, the blue jeans and suspenders, and he looks ready to go as well.
All right. Well, I mean, I'll take a seat next to them if I can. Is there some sort of entry fee?
Yes, there is an entry fee of 5 copper, and the winner gets 5 gold.
Oh, that's nice. What are we whittling exactly? Just making something fancy, or?
The proprietor of the stall explains that the goal is to it's whoever whittles the best the best bear carving or statuette.
Okay.
And they've got a panel of 3 judges from around the town who will be viewing and judging your piece at the end.
All right, I'll give him silver.
Okay.
5 copper or 5 silver?
It's 5 copper, but I'm gonna give him a silver
gotcha.
for.
Okay. Well,
hopefully
they,
the right
Yeah, that's a
change.
that's
They
a
give you the-
100x payoff.
they give you the 5 copper back
Yeah.
and wish you good luck. And you sit down and begin whittling. Once they wait for a couple more entrants to come in and
Sure.
begin the contest. And the goal is to do it by sundown, so you're going to be kind of stuck here for a while. So we'll pause on the results of that. If you can, could you give me a whispered crafting check?
Sure. Yeah.
Should be able to set your character sheet to
Crafting.
whisper mode and give me a crafting.
Yes.
Okay. What are the other 2 of you want to do?
Pig wrestling.
Pig wrestling was my choice too.
Yay!
Somehow I knew the more physical people would want to go for either that or the foot race.
Okay. Here
High
they.
five for being on the same page through the internets.
Turkey and pig.
So for the pig wrestling, they've got the reward is a month of free booze from the local brewery if you manage to catch a pig within the time limit.
It's a pretty good deal. Greshy should have gone for that then.
Yeah, putting a druid on that would be kind of almost unfair though. You just charm it.
Yeah, stop,
It's like,
pig.
here, piggy, come here.
Halt.
Let me give you a hug. I
You
gotcha.
You talk to it and promise it treats.
Okay, who wants to try the pig wrestling first?
I'll make sure you don't get 8.
I'll go first.
Okay, Asher boldly steps forward.
I'll tire out the pigs for a gun.
All right, what's your approach going to be? You can basically just argue any skill check that you think is
Crafting skill
appropriate.
check.
So
Let's
animal
see.
handling
I
is
like-
reasonable. You could just go for
Ooh.
raw athletics.
Is animal handling a thing in this?
don't
Sorry, I
think
guess
it
it's
might be.
nature. It's nature.
Roll
Yeah, I think it's under nature.
Yeah.
Both my nature and athletics are the same.
What about diplomacy?
My diplomacy for the pig is lower than
Unfortunately,
my
you,
nature.
I think you need a feat to diplomacy animals.
Yeah.
You want to try society and just see if you can talk the pig into being friendly? It's in your best interest, bud.
Would acrobatics work at all? Or is it just athletics and nature?
Can you convince him that acrobatics is a good way to work? How would you do
What
that?
is the difference between athletics is like strength and acrobatics is
Yeah, athletics is more of like kind of endurance, running, jumping, pushing stuff, breaking doors open, that sort of thing. swimming. Acrobatics is more about like balance and maneuverability. It's what you would use for like doing flips or standing on a like walking a tightrope or something like that.
You need to maneuver in the mud. What's
Yeah.
that? Hey, you just get around. You need to make sharp turns to get those pigs.
Okay, so you're just gonna try and dive in and slip around and
Yeah.
get into a tangle around it. Okay, give me an acrobatics check.
Outmaneuver the pig. Is it public or do you want a secret one?
No, go ahead and just roll it publicly. The secret was
Alright.
just because we're gonna get back to it.
Oh. Let's.
It
Oops,
was
I did-
amazing, by the way.
Oh,
look at
I got
that.
26.
Okay, so you
Wow.
you like clap your hands together, rub them, and just jump in into the mud. You immediately just like
Just
slick
imagine
yourself
him
up
doing
with
that.
mud. The pig starts to squeal
I'm ready.
and starts to run away from you. You like slide on one leg over towards it, slip around it, grapple it with both hands, and kind of flip it over
Yeah.
onto its back. And
Got
you make very short work of that challenge.
Do a death roll.
Got the pig.
Give me an athletics check now to sort of maintain the
Maintain the pig.
maintain the grapple
Maintain
of the pig.
A 16.
Yes, you beat the pig's 8.
Yes.
So the pig squiggles and oinks, oink, 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 but it eventually gives up and just kind of rests there. Pleased.
Little pigums. I did it.
I
I pet
applaud.
the pig.
Very nice.
the assembled crowd applauds as well. And you are, after they hand you a towel to sort of wipe yourself down.
Wipe. But it's not very. I do it fast.
Okay, you just do kind
So
of
it's
like
still mud.
you do like a
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
wipe,
like,
hope that got everything.
At least get it off
Got
your
it.
face so it's not in your eyes.
Did it.
And
I
they
get
hand
free
you,
beer.
yep, they hand you a ticket for free beer from the local brewery, whose name I should have remembered, but I didn't. Whoops.
Guess we're gonna be staying in town for a while.
Well, maybe you can sell it to somebody local for a decent amount of money.
How much beer was it again?
A month.
A month's
month.
worth of.
Unlimited for
A
a month.
month of beer.
Basically, you can get drunk every day and night for a month.
I know what we're doing later.
Yes, from
Let's see.
the Two Night Brewery. That's a hard word to say. Brewery.
Two-night brewery.
Yes,
Brewery.
Knigget.
Brewery.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, hopefully they spend a little bit longer than that on the.
All right, Gunn, are you gonna do it? Are you gonna wrestle the pig?
Yeah. All right.
Show us how it's done, Gun.
Yeah.
Show.
I will
Woo.
take my shoes and boots and shirt off and set them neatly aside before I hop in the mud pit.
Okay.
So
You very
refined.
just sort of carefully like step over the fence.
And my plan was to maybe see if I can augment a raw athletics check with like a boost from either intimidation or lore warfare to try and corner the pig first before I.
Okay, let's
Go
go with intimidation first.
All right.
So you're just gonna try and like frighten the pig.
Yeah, and like corner it into the, like just cut it off so that it
Ooh.
gets
It's not too bad.
corner. What did I get? I can't even see it. Okay, there we go. I got a 15 on the intimidation.
Okay, the pig kind of squeals and backs up slowly. It does seem shaken by your just intimidating. You just do like
Alright.
you T-pose for dominance.
Oh. Yeah, I will Alex Louis Armstrong the shit out of that pig.
Okay, go for it. Give me the athletics check and take a plus
we
2.
go. All right.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right.
now that the pig has backed itself into a corner, you march over towards it, leap at it, grab it, starts to squiggle and try and get free. Give me another athletics check to hold it.
Okay. And there we go.
Oh,
Natural
look at
20 on
that.
one.
Okay,
What was the total?
26.
Yes.
You grip the pig quite firmly, stand up with it, still wriggling, and look at the
And it's
stall
suplex it.
owner. Do you actually
Pretty sure
suplex
you're
it?
supposed to capture it and not
No,
kill it.
I'm not doing that.
Okay. You consider in
rock
your
bottom.
mind suplexing it. But the stall owner just kind of stands up wide-eyed. Here's your towel.
All right, I'll hop out, wipe off, and get my stuff back on, and then look
Take
for
the
my
tickets.
ticket.
Yep,
Look for my
yeah.
ticket for free booze.
Yep,
Yeah,
and hands you a ticket as well.
We're definitely gonna have to make this our base of operations for a while.
We should tell Greshy about the pig. They're very easy to catch.
And of course, Crash would just be like,
So you guys wander around looking at the other carnival games for a bit, and eventually see that Greshy is set up over here at the woodland competition.
Is he
He's
doing well? What?
give me a perception check.
Ooh. So how does his block look? A 12.
It's hard to see. So he's got the and a 22. Okay, from Gunn.
Yeah. I'm gonna hop in on that action.
So
Looking around.
Asher, you're trying to get a good look at what Greshy is doing, but he's kind of like hunched over. He's got like a very serious look on his face, and is like carving very. He's doing very like harsh like single strokes, cutting across the wood, but you can't really see what it is he's got in his hand.
I'm looking around to check on everyone else's progress for comparison
Okay, let's see.
with that roll.
So the older woman seems to have already finished her bear sculpture, and has it placed beside her, and it looks like a bear. It's quite well decorated. It's got a little bit. She's got some little notches for the eyes. This is the sort of thing you'd think you could see on a store shelf. The small child. Despite his aged, weathered hands, seems to just still have like a solid piece of wood that he's just carved, or that it's just like a bunch of lines through it that don't really make any sense. It's not actually like fully like his hands can't actually penetrate the wood very well.
"Oh,
Oh, I was gonna say it's gonna be like in what was that show? The bread. He's just gonna like hit it on the table, and the outside is gonna fall.
Yeah, Yakitate Japan. Yes.
Yes.
Ah, yes.
the 100-layer croissant bread thing. And the last person, they're also still sort of working on theirs. It looks okay. You can kind of see the bear's face. It doesn't look as good as the elderly woman's, but looks all right. The other competitors don't seem to be of any interest. They maybe seem more like they're just trying just for luck's sake.
Mhm. The competition
like
is
Greshy.
not as fierce as I was expecting.
The fierce wood competition.
You guys stick around for. It looks like it's almost over.
Yeah,
as
let's see how the judging goes.
Okay, judging time is now. You sit and watch for about 10 more minutes, Go ahead and give me one more secret crafting check, Will.
Oh, sure. Secret. Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Judging is pretty brutal on everyone. While Greshy does have a thing that does kind of look like the shape of a bear, it doesn't have any of the sort of intricacies, or he didn't get around to doing any kind of even eye holes or.
It's got one leg.
It's got basically two legs because he didn't actually bother separating the back legs and the front legs into two legs each. So it's just kind of like a U shape with a head.
A unibear.
The other competitors mostly don't look that much better. The old woman, however, seems to have it on lock. She presents her bear. In the time that it took everybody else to finish, she decided to go back and polish it up a bit. Now the bear has realistic detailed fur, and she's somehow managed to go get small beads to glue into the eye sockets, and just everything about it just looks beautiful. She wins by a landslide. The crowd cheers for her, and Greshy, I guess, slinks away from the competition.
I'd be worried she was the next murderer in the town.
Yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes on her.
Watch
Watch out for bear statues, just in case. They start cropping up.
Okay.
Demon that possesses people with good carving ability.
Well, that could have gone better. Could have gone worse, I suppose, but
Oh, good effort.
yeah. It's a bearish thing.
I think it looks good.
I'll work on it some more later. Maybe actually,
Should.
finish it.
Okay, so
that
you
in my
can
inventory.
keep the bear, yeah. And they let you keep the chiseling knife as well.
Oh,
whittling
nice.
You
What's
got a
that?
prize either way.
Yeah.
Sort of the consolation prize, everybody's buy-in. Okay, so the festival game is sort of wrapping up. People are starting to make their way over to the entrance of the cathedral to watch the Swallowtail release.
Sounds good. Shall we go?
All right, let's go see him.
All right.
Okay. You saunter on back over to the entrance of the cathedral, where it seems, let's see. Father Xantus has a bunch of acolytes with him, who are wheeling in a large covered wagon. The wagon's cover is painted blue, and has starry night sort of yellow gold paint all about, to give it this
Very
sort of
nice.
look of a night sky. Inside you can see a rather large cage of what appear to be hundreds of, if not maybe 1,000 of these blue swallowtail butterflies that are starting to give off a faint shimmery glow at this point. It's definitely not normal, but you get the hint that maybe there's something sort of magical about this. Let's see. So, you've just kind of caught the tail end of Father Xantus giving sort of a bit of a sermon about how the festival is meant to be a parable about how when Desna first fell to Earth and was nursed back to health by a blind child, who she then transformed into an immortal butterfly as thanks for her kindness, and that these butterflies are representative of the children of Desna, and by releasing them, they re-empower Desna each year. And he also says, if you're lucky enough to have one land on you, that's a whole year's worth of good luck. He says, like, kind of looking at a small child, who her little eyes like brighten up, and he goes over and unlocks the cage, opens the cage door, and butterflies swoosh out into sort of the sunsetting sky. It feels like almost an endless number of them stream out, all blue and kind of softly glowing. It's almost as if like pixie dust is kind of trailing after each one. They spread, some spread up and out into the sky, others sort of land on buildings nearby, others just sort of flow through the crowd. There's a lot of ooh, ah, as the butterflies sort of sprinkle about throughout the town. And this goes on for a while as people are cheering, and you see children sort of chasing the butterflies around, trying to get one to land on them, but it just makes the butterflies run away faster. This goes on for, you find a spot to just sort of sit and watch, unless you want to engage with it in any way. And while that's sort of going on, Father Xantus is helping wheel away, or helping sort of pack up the carriage. The wagon, there we go. Thank you, words. Packing up the wagon, and the acolytes sort of take it away. It's at this point that the other priests who were invited, including Mother Tiket, are sort of making their way out of the cathedral and towards Father Xantus. They all are sort of talking for a little bit, while Father Xantus like listens and nods, and you can't hear what he's saying from where you are. But eventually he smiles and shakes each of their hands, and then they all go up to the platform.
Are they gonna speak?
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna speak. The crowd kind of quiets down a bit. But then sort of some kids start screaming, and one landed on me, come look, and the butterfly goes flying away. And Father Xantus removes something from his pocket, a small stone, and throws it at the ground. It shatters and issues a loud boom, and this sort of rumbles the area. You all know this is a thunderstone. Everyone turns and is suddenly, like, just deathly quiet.
So aggressive.
I hold on to Phelan to calm him down.
Oh no!
Phelan's
It's like a dog in fireworks, and he just
shaking a
puts
bit.
off this freaking boom thing over there. It's freaking rude. We're here, we're paying attention. It's just a kid. Jeez.
Sorry, I just wanted to get your attention. It's time for us now to recite the prayer of first dreaming. I shall lead you all in this prayer, and then we shall consecrate the temple. And he begins to, he bows his head. The priests all begin to recite the chant. And not a few moments into it, there's a loud screech.
Oh, of like a person or an animal?
An animal. Sounds like a dog.
Phelan?
No.
Phelan's ears perk up and it looks around. There's audible gasps from the crowd as another scream yells out. This time, presumably a human scream. Somebody It sounds like somebody's scared or hurt or something. One by one, you hear more screams off in the distance, some closer, some further. And you see something small skitter past the stage. Give me a perception check.
Yes.
It's the lady with the
Public.
bear.
Dun, dun.
Okay.
Got a 20.
Got a
I didn't see
14.
what it was. I got an 8. I have no idea.
Okay, so Greshy with a 20, you spot what looks like a goblin just running past the stage. It scrambles behind a wagon, jumps on top, and yells out. Goblins chew and goblins bite. Goblins cut and goblins fight. Stab the dog and cut the horse. Goblins eat and take by force. And then more goblins start to come out, and people start screaming and running. Goblins race and goblins jump. Goblins slash and goblins bump. Burn the skin and mash the head. Goblins here and you be dead. And it jumps out and stabs a person who screams. More people start to just run as more goblins come out and continue the song. Chase the baby, catch the pop, bonk the head to shut it up. Bones be cracked, flesh be stewed. We be goblins, you be food. And
Wow.
everyone, I would say roll initiative, but I think that's the end of our show tonight. So
For next
Well done.
we won't do that.
I'm assuming these are not. I'm getting the feeling these are not the friendly goblins that we found in the
These
cave.
seem
No.
pretty unfriendly.
They don't seem to be the friendly goblins.
You know, we went through all that trouble to try and teach them to trade and stuff. Gunn was very friendly to them. Phelan didn't fight them or anything.
These are
Those are
northern
different goblins.
goblins.
Yeah.
These are. They don't like horses.
Are you lumping?
all
Are you
goblins
lumping
don't
all
like-
goblins into one bucket?
No, I
Hey.
was saying that obviously if these were the goblins that we found, that our attempts to try and help them integrate into society failed, and that is sad for us.
But luckily, it's happy for us.
Because
They're
now we
not
get to
the
just
same.
murder these goblins instead.
Yeah, they're being
Yay.
rude.
They are being, well, rude is one way to put it. Murderous horde is another way to put it. Just gonna sing my song and then jump off the wagon and stab a bitch.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't very nice.
No, it wasn't.
Well, I
Well, that
hope
was fun.
everybody had fun.
Yes.
This has
Yeah.
been the third action. Hope you guys enjoyed it in this first episode. We'll be back next week, same time, hopefully. We'll figure that out. But farewell. It's good to see you all. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Good gaming with you.